plug in this battery. Where's it go?
No pressure, Ralph.
Okay. All right, this is my update to Bile, the first of the Digesticons.
Bile?
Bile.
Bile, okay.
Yeah,
Just
you
checking
saw him last
that.
month. He did the.
Just checking that.
But I'm trying to get it where you can do level 2 and level 3 on the TableBot challenge. And my solution that I come up with for that is to put this LiDAR on here. It's one of these little laser doodads, the B53L1X or something. It's a 4-meter version of a 2-meter LiDAR sensor. Anyway, and I put it on a little pan and tilt thing. And I'm going to basically, at the start of the event, I'm going to scan the table, figure out where everything is, and then, you know, decide if there's a block or not, and go and push it off, etc., and do what I need to do. So my goal is to do the entire TableBot challenge, level 1, 2, and 3, including looking for table edges, make sure I don't go off the table, ends, etc., all with one sensor. So that's the goal. We'll see. I've got enough data theoretically coming off this thing. It's just a software problem, right? So it should be a piece of cake.
How hard could it be?
Yeah, how hard can it be, right? But anyway, that's the basic idea. The pan and tilt unit is from SparkFun, and it's $7, and it includes the servos. So that's pretty cool. And then the LiDAR here, I got it at SparkFun. I think their version is like 17 or $18. There's a version you can get on below the for $10. It's the same sensor, just on a different PC board, their board. So it's not too expensive to do the upgrade.
Is that the STM? Or?
Yeah, it's a ST LiDAR chip. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
nice. The one. Yeah, that's the newer one they came out with a little bit ago, like a couple months ago or something. It's the 4-meter version. They had a 2-meter version they came out with like a year ago or so.
Yeah,
I like them both. They're really great. The I2C interface and stuff. Cool. And then also there's a little blue board on the top here, which is a brand new board I just found out about from, well, it's not brand new, it's brand new to me, from GetSurreal.com, those guys. And if you've ever tried to fan out stuff or bring stuff in to an Arduino, you know, you can't, depending on what it is, like a servo or something like that, it's hard to just plug it in directly. You can't, because you need power, ground, and signal. So this board's perfect. It breaks out every I/O to a 3-pin header. So you can drive servos or bring in, you know, different sensors that have, you know, they need power and ground plus the signal. That's really nice, very handy, and it was like $6, $7. So I bought a few of them. Anyway, some nice little pieces I found along the way. So anyway, that's pretty much the demo. You can see that it does scan back and forth. The idea is that I'm going to just scan the table. I'm going to, I got these little wooden blocks are 2 by 2, so I'm going to try to scan every 1 inch, you know, all across the table, so I won't miss the block, and build up a map of what's on the table and hopefully solve the challenge. And that's really it. Any questions, just let me know. That's it.
This is Miranda. I named my robots alphabetically. I started with Alice. I'm up to Miranda. That's a little over 2 years.
Lysander
time.
before?
The predecessor to this was Lysander. Right. I was going to name
Not
this.
the same robot?
It looks very similar.
Okay.
Lysander was scavenged to become Miranda. Miranda is bigger, has more stuff on it than Lysander. Lysander was getting a little unwieldy, and even this one looks unwieldy. So the parts that I particularly built, I've got my own 3D printed wheel mounts on this thing, and if you were to look inside, you'd see that I've added temperature sensors to it, which is these cables that I haven't hooked up yet. On here, it's got a teensy 3.6 here, which I'll get remounted now that I know what is going to go where. It's got a access point which connects to my home Wi-Fi, or acts as an access point when it doesn't see my Wi-Fi, and USB bridge. This is a Euclid device, pretty slick device. If Intel ever supported it, I would highly recommend it. But as usual, Intel throws things out, asks you for $400, and then cancels support for the things.
Wasn't that the one that they left on going? I mean, they canceled the RealSense, didn't they?
It's part of the RealSense family. And they've got new RealSense things, but Euclid dropped support more than a year ago on it. They probably don't claim that they've dropped support.
You're on your
There's
own.
no support for it. It's a pretty slick device, though. It's a robot in a box. you hook this thing up to an Arduino and you've got yourself a robot that can do a whole lot of stuff. The problem is I don't like the stuff it does, I just want the cameras out of it. So it's got 4 cameras in it, and audio, GPS, IMU, I think it's got a temperature sensor and a photo sensor and a few other things. Pretty slick, and they're pretty cheap now. They're $170 or something like that. There's an IMU on this thing here. Inside there's a RoboClaw motor controller, and on the edge is my up board. This is the up 1 board. Also have an up 2 board at home. These vertical blocks, there will be more of them on here, and there's another plate that'll fit on the top.
What is an upboard?
It's an Intel instruction set computer. So the problem with Arduino, or what those
Pi?
things that Raspberry Pis are made out of, is they don't support the Intel streaming instruction set. I forget what it's called, SS something.
Oh, so you had to get that for the Euclid.
No, I didn't need to, but I got tired of not being able to run RViz on anything that I put inside the thing. And there's lots of software that will, from Ross, that will only run on Intel instruction set computers.
Oh,
So these are like $120. It's a quad core. This one has 64 gig of EEPROM, 8 gig of RAM. Each of the processors runs over 2 gig on this thing. It's got gigabit Ethernet. Pis have 100 megabits a second Ethernet. It's got a pair of USB 3 connectors. It's got a bunch of expansion that I'm not using on this thing, including the USB Go, or yeah, whatever that is.
what are you running on that?
I'm running Ross.
Oh, so you're running Ubuntu?
1604?
1604?
1604
Okay.
Ubuntu
All right.
on this. It runs a bunch of different operating systems. I have a second one of these that might run a real-time operating system on the thing. And these things here are like Ralph was just talking about, these are laser time-of-flight sensors. So right now, so I have an array of robots. I have big ones. Well, this is currently my smallest one now on this, and it's going to do the TableBot challenge.
All right.
But I'm looking to do the spirit of the TableBot challenge and not the letter of the TableBot challenge. So
Okay.
this thing needs to have full awareness about what is the real boundaries of the table. It needs to know where it is on the table at any point. It should have a cluster of objects on the table, and I should be able to tell it ultimately through voice command, find the red fireman and put it in the blue box.
It's all about the
Sort
show.
of thing. That's right. So that's what I'm working on this, and I've just got the motor drivers totally rewritten to use Ross Control, if anybody know what that's all about, and that nightmare that entails.
Yeah.
But the motor driver up through Ross Control all got working minutes before I came here.
Real homebrew style.
Yeah, true.
One of the nice things about the challenge is that you can modify it to meet the needs of your own robot.
It's all about the show.
It's all about the show. Thanks, Ken.